Peace family, how are you? Hope all is well. I decided to make this video while I'm in here cooking. Give me a second. There's some things I gotta get rid of around here too. Sorry, guys. Stuff that don't belong in there. Anyway, I wanted to make this video, right? And I'll go deeper into it. But while it's on my mind, I'm going to speak it, right? So, when I was young, right? I was a child that was always at the elders' feet, right? Listening to the ancient stories, right? Way before my time, right? My grandmother was the youngest of all her siblings, right? And she died last year. She was the last of that whole generation, right? But I got a chance to spend 45 years. That was my best friend for 45 years, right? Not only was she my best friend, she was my guru, right? I would go to the gardens with her. She always had rose bushes. She made all of our fruits and vegetables. If we had fruit trees, and yeah, you know, her collard greens. Although I didn't eat them, but she would have her yard in the south when we lived in the south. Even up north, she had her garden. But I would ask questions, right? I was always curious, and she was always there to answer every question. I can never remember asking my grandmother a question she didn't have an answer for, right? I also never had a sickness she couldn't cure. I'm coming, y'all. And the reason why I said that, right? Because I look at my grandmother's generation, and I look at this sucker-ass generation, right? And compare and contrast the difference between how they actually made it through and how they actually got justice versus the method black people want to use now, asking the same devils that kill you to give you justice. Isn't that ironic? Right? Would you ask the person who killed your child after they killed your child to just make it their business and turn themselves in and go to jail and, you know, do the right thing? If, knowing that this person has white privilege, right? You think a person with privilege is going to do anything to not have that privilege anymore? I mean, to be honest, I'm not even angry at the concept. But I gotta go because I'm cooking me some food, right? And I don't want to be long, but I want to put this out there in the air. I'm back, so I'm gonna put this out there. So like I said, I always would ask my grandmother questions about how they lived back in her time, and she used to tell me the stories, because like I said, my grandmother is from the South, right? And she would always tell me these stories. Sometimes they were like, well, you're making these things up. But the older I got, the more I understood the shit she was saying was real, right? So now I look at, there's one more person, right? One more person that I really admired in my life too. That's still my role model to this date, right? Don't mind me because I was crying, and that's why I'm putting this video out there, right? I don't really care right about now how the fuck I'm recording this goddamn screen. I really don't, right? I got some other shit going on here. But yeah, my role model, you know who she was? Marie Laveau. And you know why she was my role model? Because in a time, if Marie Laveau was living right about now, and you had all these motherfucking police running around here, and you had all of these white supremacists calling the cops on us just for walking down the street and being black, right? Marie Laveau was a person that you wouldn't go to the courthouse. You would go to Marie Laveau to get justice, right? The police, the judges, probably the military didn't fuck with Marie Laveau. You know why? Because Marie Laveau had the powers and the knowledge of the ancestors. She also had the power and knowledge of herbs, right? So once someone knew Marie Laveau was involved, they understood their days were numbered, right? In the way she got rid of you, it probably was worse than COVID, right? That's why I laugh, like, when I think about COVID, I think about Marie Laveau, or I think about our ancestors who's been using COVID, things like COVID for a long ass time to get rid of a devil, no matter the color. Justice is a penalty and reward for one's ways and actions, and justice is also blindfolded, right? It's time. It's time, right? It's time for the Marie Laveau's, Laveau, right? And all the ancestors like her, right? It's time for you to study them, and it's time for you to master them. It's time for you to learn and understand the magic and the powers of herbs. Also, the power, energy, right? So, instead of these motherfuckers out here singing Kumbaya and waiting on the white man to go to trial just to go back home and live his life happily ever after murdering us, is unacceptable. We're not having that anymore, right? So, in a minute, especially with the sisters, right? We're getting ready to sermons to Marie Laveau's for you devils, right? We're about to mix up some motherfucking powder, some coronavirus or whatever the fuck it is we have in our grasp, right? And do as our ancestors, right? I promise you, it's a 100% guaranteed, right? When you serve justice, retributive justice, an eye for an eye type of fucking justice, right? You will get the positive results, right? And what bothers me is these motherfucking devils have been taking your magic and using it on you for the longest fucking time. Then give you this whack-ass goddamn slave religion and tell you that our magic is evil, but their witchcraft is good. There's a difference between magic, witchcraft, and an herbalist or a high priest or priestess. Those are so many, those definitions have gaps between them, right? Write down the ancestors, right? Go to your favorite, find your favorite ancestor. If you can't think of any ancestors you have in the moment that was a fierce warrior, right? Then you just simply call on the warriors or ancestral warriors, right? Right? And ask them to give you guidance, give you assistance in learning their ways of survival and how they got justice in their time and moment, because there's nothing new under the sun. Everything that's here already have been here and already will be here, okay? We should have somebody right now, when these devils, wherever these devils is at, right? They should be eating a fucking thinner pie. That's what they should be having for dessert tonight, right? I'm not going to hold this because I'm already at 13 minutes and it take forever to upload these things. But I want to touch bases on that. I want you to go think of your warrior ancestors, right? And ask them for that mindset. Also, remember, anything you do unjustly comes back to you 7 times fold. Know that, right? So, be wise in your decisions. But you got the power over life and death just like everybody else. It's time for us to call on our the warrior ancestors, invoke them within you, right? Because if you don't, you're in danger. I'll tell you something. And I'm not bragging and boasting, because there's nothing to brag and boast about. I have a son. He's been shot 3 times, 10 bullet wounds in his body. The last time was so fatal, the doctor said, "We don't know how he's here." You know how they trying to find a cure for coronavirus? Well, he was lucky because he caught a virus in his body because of the feces splattered all around in his body, and it caused this infection that was unknown to them, so they had to go in the lab and find some herbs, right, to cure the virus. The whole time, people were like, why haven't you, it seemed like you would lose your mind with your son. Your son is always like this. But I know my son is an Ogun, right? He's the type, he's going to run into those brick walls. He'd rather crash than to fall on his knees, right? Which I respect. I love him to death. But what I'm saying to you, not one time, watching him on life support, watching him not eat for months, watching him go through surgery after surgery, and these doctors continuously telling me he wasn't going to make it, right? Not one time did I think that my son wouldn't be here. Okay? You know why? Because I got on the phone, right? And I started calling up all the high priests, priestesses all over this fucking world. Okay? All over this world to work alongside me and to guide my child out of those realms, right? And it worked. Right? Not one time in my life have I shed the blood of an animal. Not one time in my life have I done something evil to someone. Now somebody fuck with me. Justice is for fucking all. Eye for an eye. I 100% co-sign that, right? Never have I used my gift for evil. Right? But when you're dealing with evil, you gotta fight that type of evil with the same type of motherfucking evil, okay? So, here's a warning for these devils. I say about the end of this year, right? I'm gonna give everybody some time to get into their warrior state energy, right? And they'll probably be creating dust to blow in your face worse than goddamn coronavirus. That's how we're going to do that. Okay? We're tired, but we're going to fight fire with fire. We're going to fight air with air. We're going to fight water with water, earth with earth. We're going to use all 4 elements to our advantage to get rid of you devils by any means necessary. Okay? Just wanted to throw that out there. I got some things to do. My head hurts from looking at that video. And when I saw that video, and after I watched that video, I'm telling you, Marie Laveau came in my head like, what's wrong with y'all? Really? Think when I was living, these motherfuckers would have did some shit like that, and they would have got away with it? Ask Louisiana. Or, you know, go to Dr. Buzzard in the South. You think motherfuckers, I don't know what's wrong with y'all in the South. A lot of y'all grandmothers and grandfathers and elders passed this knowledge on to you. But then you got so holy and fake with this Kirk Franklin fake-ass Christianity shit y'all be into and forgot your roots and culture. And because of it, you suffer. Now, time to get back in the labs and protect your family by any means necessary. Be it physically, be it mentally. It's time for you to get back on the path. Ask the ancestors, ask Magba to open up those crossroads, give you the power to make the right choice between good and bad, and justice and injustice, but always be wise in your decisions. I'm gonna go. I'm getting ready to get me something to eat. I told y'all I'm really not feeling after I saw that video. That video had really put me in a frequency that it's hard to get out of. But finished cooking my food. I don't think I'll make any more videos tonight. I'm trying to drain from today. So if not, I will build with you guys tomorrow. And I'm out. Peace.